I see my dentist for a checkup every 6 months. Regular visits help prevent problems, catch small issues early, and help me keep this nice white smile. In the same way, when it comes to your network, regular upkeep is just as essential. Firmware upgrades also prevent problems, fix potential complications, and may even add new features. In this episode of Cisco Tech Talk, I'll explain some details about firmware and why it should be upgraded on every device. I'll start with a little background on the firmware itself. Firmware is the program that controls the operation and functionality of a device. Out of the box, firmware is installed on many devices, including smartphones, computers, routers, switches, and wireless access points. The embedded firmware controls the functions of the hardware devices and systems. It's similar to how a computer's operating system regulates the function of software programs. Some devices, such as Cisco Business switches, have the capability of storing 2 firmware images. One of these is designated as the active, while the other is labeled as the inactive. When the firmware is updated, the inactive image is always overwritten. After installation, the switch will boot up using the new version. The old firmware version will become inactive. As routine as a cleaning, bug and vulnerability fixes are included in almost every firmware update, which makes sense. The list of security exploits keeps getting longer and longer. Networks face a risk of being more vulnerable without regular updates to help defend against the most recent threats. It could even lead to a cybersecurity attack. Having the latest security fixes helps to ensure compliance with all applicable laws and regulations, reducing the likelihood of legal action if there is data loss or a security breach. It improves network stability and helps secure against unauthorized use when employees work remotely. New features and functionality allow you to complete routine tasks with greater efficiency. It also helps Cisco to assist you with monitoring licensing cycles, renewals, and troubleshooting. Always in your corner, Cisco continuously improves its customer experience, CX offerings, tools, and processes to align with the most recent software code. So, check for updates often, and update the firmware every time a new version is released. If you keep unsupported software and assets for an extended period of time, you may run into some bigger problems, including breakdowns from incompatibility. This can cause more overall disruption than just upgrading software in the first place. With all these benefits, you might think it's a complicated process to upgrade firmware. Don't worry, it's pretty simple. When you're ready, head over to Cisco Software Central at software.cisco.com and locate your device from the list. From there, you'll get the option to download the latest firmware specific to your equipment. If you want step-by-step directions for this process, check out the article link in the description. Along the way, if you want the details of an upgrade, you can always check out the release notes. They'll explain the bug fixes or new features that were added to that particular release. Now you know why it's important to keep your device running with the latest firmware. So get moving on those updates, because when you're up to date, you can't help but smile. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.